You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's Vegas, it's rock, it's dogs, it's Vegas Rock Dog Radio, a rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. Stand by for great guests and cool advice, all in one rocking hour. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. That's 702-483-4444. Now, let's bring on the host. Here is the rock and roll queen of dogs, Sam.
Hello, everyone. That was a funny start this morning. Welcome to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. I'm Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs, and you are listening to the best pet radio show in the world. Polled by me. I did the poll, and I was the only one that answered the poll. So there you go. It's a rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. I am live from Las Vegas, and in studio today we've got Jim DeRigo, my husband, who's already drank a Thin Mint Nesquik gross milkshake. He's now starting on the strawberry one. Disgusting. He's got 2 bottles of iced tea. Someone's gonna have a tummy ache later. And I have my friend, celebrity magician, animal advocate, Murray SawChuck.
That's me. That is me. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
This is the first time I've spoken all morning. Look at that.
So you didn't get to warm up your vocal cords? No, I didn't warm up.
Nothing. I didn't know. Didn't chat to anybody at the bus stop. Nothing. I just, walked all the way here from my house. That's what I do. It's only a short 6-mile walk.
So that was you on the corner of Sahara and what's that? What's the crazy?
Durango.
Yeah.
It's the guy playing the guitar dancing.
Oh my God, I love him.
That was me. Yeah. In blackface, but that was me.
You think he makes money being a magician? He has a second job. He's on that corner.
Exactly.
Just spin signs as well.
I do whatever you need if it pays the bills.
You have one of those Statue of Liberty outfits too, don't you?
Of course, yeah. It's around tax time, usually around, February, April.
Why is it always a guy that's the Statue of Liberty?
I don't know why.
I never see girls do it.
Because they're smart. They actually can get a real job and, with air conditioning.
It's like the Brady Bunch episode of Johnny Bravo. Remember that one?
Yes.
Here we go again.
The whole reason why they selected Greg Brady was not because of his talent, because he fit the outfit.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that happens sometimes in town, doesn't it?
Sure
in entertainment.
Isn't that the truth?
The face fits, the body looks right in the costume. It's funny you talk about the Brady Bunch, because I never grew up with the Brady Bunch. So he references it all the time, and I have no clue what's going on. Nothing.
Yeah, maybe Netflix them.
Blank. Just blank.
Little House on the Prairie, though.
I do. I
Michael Landon.
I still watch it.
What's with the selective iconic television?
I know, right?
I do. I love that one. And what's the other one? The Waltons.
Oh, really?
They had a reunion. On a show that you're always on.
Yes.
Home and Family. They had the Waltons.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, recently?
Last week.
That's why Mark was wearing that wig.
Yes.
I kept looking. I thought
the dad wig.
And I kind of read it, and then I never paid attention to it. And then Christina was dressed in her old dress, and I thought it's got to be something about flashback to the old times. I just never looked at it long enough.
It was the waltz. It was actually very good. There was lots of tears on that show.
Oh, really?
It was funny because generally you don't bawl your eyes out on watching a daytime show. It's kind of a fun light show.
Oh, yeah.
But Christina was bawling.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, really, really bawling.
I grew up. I mean, Christina's, back in the day was a very, very high-end model.
Oh, she was gorgeous.
Fashion model. And her daughters are beautiful. She's beautiful.
Yep.
It's a really nice family. The whole damn family's great. And so I guess a lot of memories.
Yeah, it's one of the best shows. You're on that show a lot, though.
Yeah, I do. I've probably done over 15 or 18 episodes. I'm probably going to go back in August this month at some point and do something else on there. I became good friends with them, and they're really good people. And my manager is best friends with Mark Stein's manager.
Oh, okay.
So there's a big connection there, and that's kind of how I got on the show originally, way back. And they're just good people.
Did you meet my friend Laura Nativo, who does all the dog stuff on the show?
Yeah, she came to my show.
Oh.
She came to my show about a week and a half ago.
Oh, I saw the picture. That's right.
Yeah, and they texted me saying, "Hey, she's coming in," and I said, "Yeah, great." And so I got to meet her, but we've never worked together on the show. We have thought about doing a segment together.
Oh, yeah, it would be perfect.
Yeah.
And then you can travel with the dogs once again.
Exactly, bring them back in, all 3 of them now. So exactly.
We've been friends with Laura for about 10 years.
Oh, really?
When she started, she'd always been in Hollywood, in movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she got on that reality show, CBS, America's Greatest Dog, 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
And it was a reality show with you and your pet and all these challenges.
She was a top 3 finalist.
She was. And,
no way.
And a friend of ours was doing some of the endorsements for the contestants. And he was working with, and from here actually, and he had her working at Super Zoo, the big
pet that was
thing.
just in town.
And that's how we got to meet Laura. She always goes, oh, you know what, you're my first pet industry friends, you know, because at the time she only had little Preston.
Yes.
Since then she's got Penelope Superfly, because that is the best name for a dog ever, and Delilah. But that's how we got to know Laura.
Oh, interesting, because I didn't really know her history. I knew her from the show, and everyone's like, have you ever worked with her? I said, no. And I think we passed each other, on the set, because she'll come in a day early to set things up. But we've never, so, it was nice to meet her, and we had a great time, took some photographs. And she was here for the Super Zoo. That's when she came in.
She's an amazing dog trainer.
She really is, huh?
Amazing.
I believe that. Yeah, everyone's talked highly.
I've never seen anything like what she did with her newest dog from being a puppy at 4 months. I couldn't believe what that dog could do. It was incredible.
Yeah, and it really is a labor of love, though, isn't it? I mean,
it really is.
You really have to be serious about it, get into it. And it's like brushing your teeth every night. You have to do it. You can't just expect them to go, if I give them a few treats, I'll sit up. You actually have to, set aside half an hour
You
or
have
whatever.
to have the discipline.
Yeah, you do. And take
More
them to
than
the guest room or wherever there's no other dogs or nothing else, and you work on that one dog. There's no way to do it with a bunch of other dogs running around. You really got to. So I just had that with my other dog. We did that, and I had to take the dog into another room.
Yeah.
We'd have like a half an hour training session because the other dogs would always get in the way.
Yeah,
and just
distract him.
No, of course, yeah.
But
Very
you know what,
interesting.
Jim's going, because we did a quick photo shoot this week, and our 3 together. Actually, separately, as are okay. But together,
oh sure,
They feed that energy. If one
kicks
wigged,
off,
and away we go.
It was not the most fun shoot.
I had to deal
I was
with
sweating.
I didn't even tell you what I dealt with this morning on the walk.
Why?
We have a part of the trail system that goes right past our house, and so I took the 2 little ones, Mr. Twix and Thornton, out for a walk this morning. Walk, run, sniff, poop, and so here we are enjoying the morning, and a peloton of about 25 road bikers starts, and it's like, you know what?
They never let you know they're coming.
They need to get with it. I'm a
They
bicyclist.
should have something.
Little bell, ring ding, ring ding.
And we have the gentlemanly protocol in the bicycle world of how you're supposed to behave around pedestrians, around pets, trail etiquette. You always give way to people climbing if you're descending because they're expending energy. You're not. Give way to pedestrians. And I don't know what's wrong with these road bikers, and it's always the guys that think they're something special, wearing the team shirts and all that. It's like, I'm walking a couple dogs. You're going to scare them.
Yeah.
And this is a dual use pathway, so you shouldn't be riding 28 miles an hour past me and my dogs.
Well, we stopped going on that one trail for that exact reason.
Yeah, same etiquette as when you have. I rode horses all my life.
I didn't know that.
Yes, those too. And when you're riding along the road, say you're cutting through a trail or you're cutting to someone else's farm, and you ride along the side of the road because as you do in the rural cars, you swing into the second lane or you around the horse, you run right by. But that's in that world, the Iowas, Oklahomas, and Ohio's. You know that you just see it. You just swing around. You don't think even twice as part of your life.
Exactly.
But so it's very inconsiderate. It's frustrating. I
frustrating.
have mine too, and we walk in 3 of them, and literally you feel like you're a marionette because I keep swinging. One goes under, and one and no, don't go around the pole. Ah, crap! And you got to haul 2 back to go around the pole.
And then they run around your legs and wrap you up, tie you up like a magic trick.
And if you make it all the way back, you give yourself a treat. You're like, I made it. You made them all back. And I
flying 3 kites in a gale.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is a lot of work, So.
Well, if you're just listening to the show right now, I've got Murray SawChuck here. He's a celebrity magician, animal advocate. He's done lots of things. He's very, very interesting. He's one of our friends. We love him. We love him for the fact he got up really early this morning. But I have stuff to give him, so it's kind of a bribe.
Yes.
Really. Because otherwise,
works.
I would have said just call in. But since I have stuff for him.
See, that's why I'm here.
We plied him with iced tea and chocolate biscuits. Let me tell you something. We know how to treat them well here at the show. If you're listening for the first time, you can find us on VegasRockDogRadio.com, on Facebook at Vegas Rock Dog Radio. I almost got that wrong. Twitter, Vegas Rock Dog Show, no W at the end. The call-in number is 702-483-4444. And like I said, we are live from Las Vegas on Vegas All Net Radio. We're gonna, I don't know, let's do a quick break. Why not? Because I am so weak like a kitten, I can't even open this iced tea, so I can do that on the break. It's like, we'll be right back. You listen to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
Do you know that moment when your dirty dog's about to jump in your nice, clean car? You can avoid all the cleanup and mess with a 4K9 seat cover. 4K9s makes heavy-duty seat covers and cargo liners that will blend seamlessly with the interior of your vehicle. You can find us at 4K9s.com. That's the number 4, KNINES.com, or on Amazon.com. 4K9s makes nothing but the best for your best friend.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Now, let's return to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Here again, your host, the rock and roll queen of dogs, Sam.
And we're back. You listen to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs. And in studio today, I have Murray SawChuck. He's a celebrity magician, animal advocate. He can ride horses. He can build you anything. Do all magicians, I would think all magicians are quite handy.
You have to be because you're cheap. And the reason, you didn't see, I actually didn't walk. I came in my go-kart that I put together. It's two lawnmower wheels and a wheelbarrow tire.
And your feet on the bottom.
Yeah, Flintstoned it all the way here. And
he's funny too.
That's because what happens is you start out in magic and you get a magic book because that's what you can afford, or you just steal it from the library and then pay them the fine for losing it.
Because it's cheaper than buy the book.
Or whatever you do, all those tricks. And now you have a book and now you can make card tricks and you glue cards together, or you make this popsicle stick kind of cool drawer thing that hides something in a drawer. But you can make this stuff, and that's great because therefore it saves money. You go to a magic store, it's very expensive because there's not a lot of supply and demand in the magic world, so the props are more expensive because it's not like everyone's buying toilet paper. Well, we all need that, or Kleenex. Magic's not like, everyone needs to have a sponge rabbit, so that things are more expensive. So basically you learn to make stuff, and then when you're on the road, you don't have seamstresses and steamers like here in Vegas Union. You do when you're at that level, but when you're trying to get there, you lose a button. Guess what? Is you either hot glue the sucker back on, or you stitch it, and away you go back on stage. So
because you're always building something.
Yes,
I like the new Murray lights, your name in lights. That's very cool.
I got them. I built the sign, but I actually got the letters made from a couple that I met on Fish something. It's like an Etsy, but it's called something Design Fish or Fish something online. Fish. I wish I could think of it. And you find all these people that build things and crafters. It's called Fish something. It's too bad I could do a plug for them, but I can't remember the damn name.
Go on, Jim. Find it.
In the commercial break, I'll Google it. But Fish something, and it's. Anyways, but this couple makes them. I think they're from Ohio, and a lot of plugs for Ohio today. But and they make them and they send them out, and they're just a husband-wife team. And I loved it when I saw it because I really wanted the authentic signs. Yeah, because I love the neon boneyard. I'm a huge supporter of that. The neon boneyard.
Yes.
With all the old signs.
You had a great shoot down there.
Yeah, I've shot there many times.
Really, really nice.
And I support them. I believe in all that vintage heritage stuff for Vegas. And so, anyways, but long story short, I put them together myself because you save yourself thousands of dollars. When you're not hiring Andy Wamsley, you know what I mean? So.
I'm Googling fish.
Let me tell you
online.
something. Just the fact that we're friends with Andy, he should do stuff for free for us.
I know, exactly.
Just the fact that we remain his
coming
friend.
up with ice fishing in Ohio right now.
Can I Google search
ice
it?
fishing?
I'm going to look right now. Ice fishing in Ohio.
It's got an animal theme to it.
I'm going to find this before it's over.
If you're on Periscope, we're actually going to Periscope after the next break, I think. I think we'll have Jim be on the camera for that.
It's so funny you brought up Periscope. I've been having this conversation for 2 months now because everyone knows I'm in social media, and I don't want to add anything more to my stuff. I don't care. I'm all of a sudden I realized I'm going to lock in and be old. So when I'm 70, I'll be like, you're back in the day. They used to have that because I've realized I've got enough crap online and all this stuff because I live on it, right? And John Katz has been. I hang with him all the time, and he's always like, "Come on, you get in the Periscope, Murray. This is your next thing." And I'm like, "No." I was like, "Well, I said I should." So we got this big battle where everyone's waiting for me to get on this Periscope.
You break down.
And then Chloe tried to get on, and she got on for 2 seconds, and then she was like, "No, I can't even be bothered."
Not for her.
She has it on her phone. I can't even download it on my phone. I tried 3 times now. I have a Samsung, and I guess it's built for Apple. And I know I'm sound like really uneducated to every tech wizard listening right now. I've tried 3 times now, and I'm like, I'm out. I can't.
Well, maybe this is the only way you get to go on. But technically, they can't say you're on it because you didn't have your own account.
No, I don't have my own account.
So you go.
No.
So if
hack somebody else's.
If Katz comes back, if he comes back, you can just say, "Well, I didn't break down because technically I didn't have the app on my phone." So, But if you're on Periscope, find us at Vegas Rock Dog, and you'll be able to see Murray's lovely bonnet That means hair. You know that, don't you?
What's that?
Bonnet.
No, what's that?
Means hair.
It's a hat.
Hair.
Oh, hair.
Yeah.
I meant
Lovely
hat.
bonnet.
Oh, really? Nice. I remember that.
We have the same queen.
Yeah.
You must know what bonnet means.
Well, bonnet I thought was a hat, not a hat.
Blue
Oh, a
bonnet, like the
bonnet.
butter.
Yeah.
You're thinking
Right.
bonnet.
A hat. You know,
Oh,
like
you
a
think
little
so?
puffy muffin hat. What do they call those?
A bonnet.
Or the
Which is the
or
front
the hood of your car.
Which is the front of your car.
A bonnet?
Yeah.
I call it a bumper.
We also. Let's
I couldn't imagine you smacking into someone and go, oh my God, you smacked my bonnet
Yeah,
up.
you
Could
smashed
you
my
imagine
bonnet.
that? Like, I can't believe you dented my bonnet. Maybe that's a new website, dentmybonnet.com.
It's
We
really
should
good.
buy that on GoDaddy, Dent My Bonnet. It could be a whole new
It
world.
could be a whole new world.
I know, right?
Also, we will say things like, it's a little bit cheeky, but I'm on it like a car bonnet.
Oh, really?
Like you're on top
That's
of
an
the car
English thing.
bonnet. I'm on it.
I got to remember that. I'll use that on my wife.
It's very
when she wakes up
educational, this
morning.
show, as you can tell. It's very educational. So, so if you're on Periscope, find us, Vegas Rock Dog. After the break, we are going to show you who's in studio. And that's simple. That's
I'm
it.
excited.
So let me talk about, because there's lots to talk about with you, Murray. That's what I like about you. There's loads to talk about. First of all, I think he'd been traveling the world in 180 days, because every time I woke up on Facebook, he was in a different city.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, where's he now? What's going on?
Last weekend we ended up touring. We ended up going to Atlantic City. We played. We did my show here, and I try not to miss a day here.
Yeah.
So what'll happen is me and Lefty, who's my guest act in the show, and then Chloe does the illusions. My wife, she has her show at Fantasy as well. So what'll happen is I like getting in a day earlier or red eye, so I get in the morning of. So I'll do my show, hop on like 11 o'clock flight wherever we're going, and then land that morning. We'll set, and then Chloe will fly in that next day, usually just before showtime, because she can still catch her show.
Yes.
At Luxor. And then fly out the next morning.
That's a lot of work.
Then, yeah, so we did my show, flew out to Atlantic City. And of course, when you're all the way to the east, it always takes forever. And then we did Harris in Atlantic City, which was fun with Massive Illusion, which is the show we're on
Yes,
CW.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, and then from there we had a day off, and then we went up to Turning Stone Casino, which is in Syracuse, New York, and played that. Great. Great casino to play. And it was cool. The best thing about that casino is 780 seats. One of my first, I'm starting to do these solo shows now. I'm selling tickets on my own name, which is scary. It's a whole different world.
But it's great,
Oh, I love
though.
it. It's
Oh, my
great.
gosh.
But it's really scary. Now I understand when these records break for singers and artists, and you go, man, I hope we can sell an arena.
Yeah.
I really get why Michael Jackson back in the day was scared that he couldn't sell an arena again, because you did it before. And I mean, I'm far from that. But I walked down the hallway before I walked on, and that was the worst thing I should have done, because they put up all the posters of all the stars that played there for the last 25 years.
Who was
and I'm
on
walking
there?
down from Joan Rivers to Kathy Griffin to Michael Bublé when he was Brad Paisley played the room.
No
This is
way.
a 780 seat room, but this is when their first album came
Yeah?
out, like we all do. Hunter Hayes, all these guys, and that was the worst thing. I could care. Everybody, you name it, they were. And I was like, man. Whew. Now I'm nervous. I wasn't nervous.
You should have closed your eyes.
I should not even walk down the hallway, So, but I found it really interesting. So, from there we did the show overnight, 5 a.m. flight back here, and then we did the 4 o'clock show here. So.
I think people just think, because it is a lot of glitter on the actual show, and
when you walk on,
shine
you look-
and
yeah.
illusion, and it's wonderful, but it is a lot of work. Just traveling, even traveling at normal times, is really difficult, but to
Sure it
actually
is.
be getting on planes at 5 a.m.
And with your equipment, as you
I was
know,
going to
when
say,
Yeah,
how much stuff do you take with you? I mean, is it
I ship 2 or 3 cargo cases with my illusions. That's the big stuff,
right?
For the bigger venues. But I pack 4 suitcases, 50 pounds apiece, because the airlines love, charging you for everything. And I can fly with 4 50-pound suitcases, so 200 pounds of equipment,
Yeah.
and do easily an hour and a half in 4 suitcases, which is nothing. So that's great. So we all fly with 6. We all have 1 personal each. And
Right.
then we kind of.
So you have to really think about being efficient, because it can be very costly.
Yes. Pack small, play big. And
Well,
I've
how
always-
much?
I
How much
love that.
do you have to prepare in advance to ship your crates over?
It's usually about 7 to 12 days if I want to make it cheap. Like if I want it 3 days, I could. But then there's an extra $400 or $500 on cargo, depending on what I'm shipping. But if it's if I have the time, and now with my show here, I have 2 hours of material I could do in a suitcase. And this theater I'm in is a 300-seat theater, so I don't need to have massive tricks, so I can ship those off. It's only 9 minutes of my show, realistically.
That makes it really efficient, though, doesn't it?
So I don't have to have 2 props of everything, because I see these magicians, and anyone who's listening knows what I'm talking about, is they got warehouses of these illusions.
Yeah.
Now, to me, the only reason to have a prop is to make money.
Yes.
Unless it's a collectible from Houdini, that's a different story.
Right.
That's a museum piece. I'm talking about buying this, like instruments. Unless you're a collector, in my opinion, is you have instruments to pay the bills, to enjoy life, and to do what you love doing.
Get rid of that second flute, Jim.
But if you have 17,000 saxophones, and because you think, I'm going to use this one when I play with this guy and this one. Well, if you're storing them in a warehouse and you're paying $1,000 a month to store them, now you got to get all these gigs to pay for storing the instruments that make you money.
Yes.
And that's the same thing with magicians. They have all these equipment. They I got all this furniture, but it's costing them $12,000 to $15,000 a year. So you have to at least make that much a year off that equipment to pay for just storing it. And my theory is get rid of it all. I'll rent what I need because there's enough magicians not working now. And, and they could use
to your
bucks.
advantage.
Sure. I can rent it off them, and then I have my own few props.
Yeah.
And I'll just pull them out of my show and ship them versus having 2 or 3 because now it costs more money. You got to buy
You should do
I
a
guess
seminar on business as a magician.
You have to gauge whether that trick is going to be your
moneymaker,
ultimate piece.
Correct.
The signature illusion in your show. We talked about that this week because I made an instrument acquisition a couple of years ago, and I just realized I spent money on something that's just not making me money. I just don't need it.
Yeah.
It's a nice asset, but I just don't need it.
Yes. You have to really be honest with yourself.
It's called an EWI. Have you seen them? Electric wind instruments. Didn't they use it on Star Trek?
No, it was a very groundbreaking
An electric
instrument.
wind.
A guy named Steiner invented it back in the 70s. It was originally called the Steiner phone. Michael Brecker made it most famous because he was such a virtuoso on everything he touched. And I bought this instrument. It's an electric wind instrument. It's an expressive synthesizer that is like a flute, clarinet, saxophone. And it just does. I like it. It's not useful. It's fun, but it's not making me any money. So
there you go.
So if anyone wants
sale,
to buy an EWI,
so call me.
What are you selling for? How much does an instrument like that go for, though? Because people aren't in music.
It's funny because these things go through a life cycle, like the Moog synthesizers of the day. They're very expensive when you buy them, and then they go through a cycle where they become worthless. And then they become vintage again, and people
want them. It's like the vehicle
them.
I drive right now.
Yeah, so it's on its down life cycle, so it's worth about $500. It's a $1,000 instrument. Sure. If I keep it another 10, 15 years, it'll be worth $1,000 again, but it'll take a while.
Is it worth the $500 over 10 years? You know what I mean?
May as well get some space going.
Sure,
because you have to play it through an amp, correct?
Yeah,
and you have to store it properly. Like, does it have to obbiously be in a proper temperature?
Well, I mean,
it's just a normal temperature.
I keep it in a corner of the studio, but
it's a doorstop. Let's be honest.
It's collecting dust right now.
It's a really expensive doorstop.
And then and he's also selling a second flute.
Why am I selling a second flute? What are you?
Did you not hear what Murray said? If it's not making you money,
exactly.
Do you know the only reason he had this second flute? This is a crazy story. He was going to be playing a solo gig for Sophia Loren.
That's great.
And somebody knocked his flute at the time. How much was that flute?
At the Venetian.
How much was that worth at the time? 10,000, 15,000?
It's $10,000 to replace it,
and it bounced
on the terrazzo floor at the Venetian.
Wow! How did it get so much height?
Well, it was from somebody knocked it from my hand when I turned my head, and it went to the ground, and they laughed and walked away, and I was stuck with repairing a vintage instrument.
So this is before he's playing for Sophia Loren. So he goes down to the music store who does his repairs, and they don't have time to do a repair for him, and he goes and buys a second flute so he can play that gig.
Are you serious? Where'd you buy it, right?
It was a guy that had a store here in town on East Sahara. He's no longer in business, but he literally, I spent $1,000 to solve a problem.
Yeah, I know, right? No,
and then had to pay for the repair on the other one.
I've had that happen, though, when something goes wrong. You just do anything to get back on track, to get the job done, and then you sort it out later. I mean, I've done that many times. You know
so
what I
we still have that flute, and I'm not learning how to play it because I tried to learn on the other one, and I had a day on that.
Do you play the flute? Are you musically inclined?
I had a day on the flute.
On the flute.
And he came home and I was like, forget that. I don't want to play that thing. So then I had a piano, didn't I? And I started to teach myself how to play piano. Yeah. And then I had a drum kit that I never played. And then, I still have it. I have an electric guitar.
Okay.
But you never
so you can play that. Oh, good. Speaking of people that should sell stuff that's not making the money.
Yeah. So
I got rid of the drums.
Let's talk about that, Queen of Vegas Rock Dog. Let's have a little chatterisky on that.
Queen of hoarding instruments. Hello, how are you? So that's but he said, do you want an acoustic guitar? I was like, oh no, I want an electric guitar. I want an amp and everything, make a bunch of noise, So
sure.
Maybe I'll pick it up this afternoon, Jim. play
Great,
you
I'm looking
something.
forward to hearing
that's
that.
nice. A little
to
serenade you.
Maybe I'll
Saturday afternoon in Vegas.
I'll periscope it. Then I'll lose all the listeners. They'll all be gone, completely gone.
So I bought the extra tea today thinking Chloe was going to show up.
We can take a tea for her.
We could take her one
give
back.
her a tea?
Sure.
Lemon flavored or just regular sweet?
I think probably regular sweet.
So,
Sure. Thank you.
for anyone that's listening, and if you are familiar with Murray, you will know that he does a lot for animals. And every year, this is the third year coming up. He's got his Beggin For Magic show coming up for a fantastic rescue, which actually I think I know every rescue that exists around this area, but it wasn't until you told me about these guys. I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah.
So tell us who you're helping.
Well, it's Friends for Life Humane Society, and they're a very small group, independent group, no kill, obviously, society where they rescue animals from kill shelters and other abused situations. And I met them because they have you can get dogs over at Petco at the corner of Rainbow and Spring Mountain every Saturday and Sunday. They're from 10 a.m. to 5.
I know. They come down from Pahrump, yeah?
Yeah, Pahrump, yeah. And they have this big, about 35,000 acre 35 acre compound where they house the dogs, and there's a secret investor behind them that has always remained quiet, but he's put the money up for the house and the compound and all that.
That's fantastic.
And these guys work, and the cool thing with the guys working at the Humane Society is they used to be homeless, and that was they were just hooked on the drugs and everything, and they found themselves through church and religion and everything else, whatever they needed to get back on track. And they worked there, so it's the homeless taking care of the homeless, and I just love that.
And they have a connection because of that. Because I remember your show last year when the guys got up to speak,
that's
they said, we know what it's like to be homeless and no one give you a chance. So we relate to these animals that come in. And I was just, I think I've cried at every show you've done. I'll be crying next week. For sure. Because it's, it's just a big thing they're doing.
And the exciting thing, too, this year, because we're at Planet Hollywood, whereas the last couple of years we were at the Tropicana, with Planet Hollywood, it's pet friendly. So we're going to actually have dogs on site. So we'll actually be able. So if they want to adopt the dogs, they're going to be right there. Whereas before, we always had to show photographs, and there's always a disconnect.
Oh, you had a toy dog, didn't you? That one year, you put a little
something
stuffed
like
dog
that.
in.
And so we're going to actually bring the dogs in. We have a proper red carpet as usual, but the dogs are actually going to be there. We can take photos with the dogs. We can actually take them home with you and see them.
Thrilled.
And my mom's flying in with her rescue because we rescued a dog, Minnie. This little blonde dog. She's flying in on Friday for the charity, and because Minnie's the poster dog for this. Every year, one of the dogs is a poster, and we have a couple of rescues from the society, and then hers is the third one. So she's flying in with Minnie.
That's
so she's coming with that little puppy. So
how's your mom doing?
Good. Lost my dad a few months ago, but he was 83, had a great life, and mom's been really, really strong. She's really been getting things organized.
You have a great family.
Keeping busy, so she's excited to come down.
You know what I liked is when you, after your dad had passed away, because you actually got bonus time with your dad, didn't you? Remember that?
Oh, yeah. It was amazing. You know what I mean? Sure.
He got this call that basically his dad was going to pass away within an hour. And then when he called back, his dad was alive.
Still alive,
What was he drinking? Juice and eating
and eating applesauce and sitting there, You know what? Long story short, I got a call. Dad went in the hospital, wasn't feeling well. So we said, go in the emergency room. And then within the emergency room, while he was getting tested, he had the heart attack, but cardiac arrest, not just attack. Boom. They took him in, brought him back, and they said, look, his heart's pumping at like 8%. He's going to go. So we can keep him on everything, but he's probably not going to last. And then mom's like, no, we're not going to do this. We both have an agreement that we're not going to live on life support or anything. So she pulled it off. Dad was 82 at the time, 4 days before his birthday. And so mom sat there with him. And it's one of those nights where you just go, my God, are we really doing this? And then all of a sudden, I got in a plane for a funeral with my suit. And at 7 a.m, I call to get in the plane. I says, hey, so when did he go? I said, you didn't get my message? And I didn't check my messages. I said, no. He said, no, he's still alive. I said, what? Yeah. Came right back. They hooked him back up again after his heart got back to 20%. And when I left him, he was drinking orange juice and eating applesauce. Like, you've got to be kidding me. I said, do you speak fine? He said, a little slow because his brain didn't have oxygen for about a minute. He lasted another 6 weeks, got the pacemaker and that, but you know what? Sometimes the body is just done. Yeah. And he made his 83rd birthday, and everyone got to see him. Yeah. And he remembered who he was, and he was the person that he came into the world as. I hate when you see somebody just come a shell of themselves, and that's what I was scared of. Yeah. His memory was starting to go and everything. So, you know what? I think he maximized his life. So if somebody had to go, that's kind of the way I'd like to go.
And I think you always, I think you're a reflection of your dad, obviously, because of what you say about your dad, which was he lived a fantastic life to the fullest. Yes. I really liked the tribute you wrote for him, which was, all the things he taught you.
Oh, sure. The random stuff you don't
That
realize.
was a long list.
Yeah, from tying a tie to changing oil to trimming a tree, things you don't realize. You know how when up until about 28, your parents are like, oh my God, really? And then after like 30 onwards, if you're lucky enough to have them around, so you realize they were right about everything, and then you start doing what they did.
Yeah.
Even the way you take a jar off, or how you pour coffee or tea, or little things.
Yeah.
You go, why do I do that? Like I read the paper every morning.
I know you do.
I can't stand reading the paper or the news. Well, what am I doing now?
You read the paper?
And I watch the news. I'm like, I couldn't stand that with my dad. I'm like, oh, you got to read everything, don't you? And sure enough, every morning I sit there and I find it more educational when I do my show live. So if somebody brings up a topic, it's like the David Lettermans and Johnny Carsons. That's what they did. I know they had writers too, but so I realized by doing this, when I get up in the morning and do a show like yours, or anything, I'm a bit more topical.
Yeah.
So it actually benefits me. Not that I'm just nosy, what's going on in the world. But,
who's your coffee mate in the morning?
The dog. Usually, what's funny is I always sit in my patio. I have a patio.
Yeah.
And then I have it inside, and depending how hot it is in the mornings. And usually I'll get up, and as soon as I hear, I have an alarm, so when the door opens, it beeps, So now the dogs know that. And usually when I walk out, the Bailey, the new one, because you can't, it's so funny I'm sleeping, they sleep in the bed with us, so we have a big, California king, so I wake up, and the other two just couldn't care. But Bailey, I swear to God, she must wake up 2 hours before, and all she does is stares at me, and the minute I open one eyeball, she's like, oh, that means he's up.
Yeah.
Like
and then
Tom
she
and
starts.
Jerry.
It's amazing because I'll see if she's sleeping, and as I lean over to look, she's like staring right at me. I'm like, how long? You're waiting,
done.
and then as soon as I make any move, I'm like, oh, we're up. And then she'll follow me, and if she's out there, the little one, she'll always sit beside me, and then Chubby, the black and white one, she'll come out and hang out. But they all sit out there with me as long as I'm outside, and they just like the company. It's so funny.
Galaxy does that to me.
They just like to be with us.
She'll have her face right by my face on the bed, and I'll just hear.
Yeah, she does.
It's funny.
As soon as one eye opens,
Yeah.
it's like game on.
You're like, here we go. You're up. That means you're up.
Well, it's great your mum's coming in.
Yes, she'll be here
the
next
show
week.
is on the 16th, which is a
Correct.
week tomorrow,
Yeah,
correct?
Sunday, yeah.
3 o'clock, red carpet.
Yes, 3 o'clock red carpet, 4 o'clock show. And, as my shows with these go, the ticket prices are just the same. And then all the profits go to the society. We have
great.
raffles, we have giveaways, and also we have a donation box. And then it's a variety show. Mike Hammer's going to be on there.
Oh,
doing
I
5,
love
10
Mike Hammer.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. And I've never asked him to be a part of any of my show. I'm like, I don't know why I never asked you, because I'm a huge fan of his. And then we got Lydia Ansel playing the violin.
Nice.
We have Lorena from Fantasy singing.
Lovely.
And I haven't seen her for a long time. Chloe's going to be doing an act in the show as well.
Great.
So it's going to be great. So it'll be a nice variety show. So if you don't like me, come for the
There's
other people.
someone that you will
Exactly,
like, you know.
It's a fun hour.
And Chloe's definitely the fairer one.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Two of them.
So it'll be good. And on Ben Young, a good friend of mine flying in from Pigeon Forge. He was in my show about 2 or 3 months ago, young magician, and he's coming here for the Magic Convention in town that starts tomorrow. Massive Magic Convention.
Guess who's playing the Magic Convention?
You're playing the Magic Convention?
Wednesday night.
He'll be entertaining
Really?
you.
What are you doing? You're part of a show you can't talk
No,
about, right?
they just called me. They want casual instrumental music this time around. You know,
Really? You should
remember-
take that thing you're going to sell
Well,
and
you
get it
remember-
going, baby. Get that thing.
Sell
What
it
is it
to a
again? The
magician.
wind oboe thing or whatever it's called?
Here,
What is it?
look, it's magic.
It
You
then
looks
you
like
can
a
do
trick.
Yeah, you can just sell it. By the end of the song, whoever the highest
Well, you
bidder
remember
goes.
2 years ago I played the final night of the convention. We did Johnny Thompson's birthday party retirement
Did you
celebration.
really? Was I there?
No,
No,
I don't
think I was invited. But anyways, that's beside the point, Jim. Let's not bring that up. No,
I think I
it
said
was-
last year. Was Murray there?
Yeah, no, I think I remember, but I wasn't in town for that. I know
Yeah,
what you're
because
talking
I
about.
was
Yeah,
actually it was really amazing for me because I got to meet and become friends with Johnny Thompson.
Yes.
On a musical level.
Wait a minute.
because-
Was that the Italian American Club?
No, it was at the Orleans.
Oh, okay. No, I did his bird. Okay, I was. His
But it was amazing because Johnny and I got to become friends.
sure. He's a musician.
He's a composer. I mean, he's classically trained. He's amazing. Everything in his show throughout his career that I remember watching as a child growing up, his act was hilarious.
That's
I mean, he
right.
set the mark for
Of
comedy
course.
magic.
That's right.
And I get to meet the guy,
Sure.
and all the music in his show were his compositions.
Isn't
Oh,
that crazy?
really?
He used to be one of the
Throughout his
harmonica
career.
cats,
Talk about
Yeah.
saving money.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. And the rights, too, right?
Brilliant.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah, because Chloe's going as a registration guest because she's into the magic now. She's been doing it now for about a year, and she's loving it. I said, you should go. It's great. It's right here. And right now, without the big illusions in my show, she can because she's not working with me right now because the illusions are still coming back from the East Coast.
I see.
And then Ben is flying in. I said, well, you go with her. You'll have a great time because he's never been. He's a young guy. And I got to work. which is great. But I'll be there in the evenings hanging out at the bar because, us older magicians love sitting at the bar and just bitching about everybody else. That's all we do is we just gossip on how horrible everyone is and who's stealing what.
And
that's just what we do. That's just what we do.
Magicians are like musicians.
Yeah.
I tell you something this week, though. I did have a good laugh at Mark Bennick, one of his old videos. He had a gold satin poofy shirt on.
Oh, he still has that.
He told me that.
Yeah, he still has that.
And that Michael Jackson military jacket.
With the epaulets? You could actually serve a dinner for two on those. They're so flat. And they're you could have
I said, show him to me. He goes, no, they're locked up. I said, yeah, and throw away the key. That's what you need to do.
Oh, my God.
I've never
and he was selling it back in the day. He was really selling Siegfried the Roy. I mean, he was doing it. Even Siegfried didn't have that much glitter and stuff. You know what I mean?
Did you go to the Siegfried and Roy School of Fashion?
Yeah.
I was dying when I saw that video.
Yeah. No, he's got it together now. He looks good now wearing the suits with the chucks and trying to, got his thing.
I think he needs a tighter suit. I was telling him he needs a bit more of a Euro cut.
Yep.
He's young.
But I had a counterpoint to that because you have to have secret pockets. It can't be that tight.
It takes a while for a brand like anybody. I'm huge on branding, as you know.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to find somebody. I told Mark that I think his brand should be, because this is who he is when he's off stage, and I've told this I mentioned it to Nathan Burton, a few other guys, and people just want to be Copperfield sometimes. And I'm not saying it's them, but is that he would look great with a John Deere hat sideways, a Mac shirt, a plaid Mac shirt.
That is Mark.
Jeans, and some cool Daytons, because that's really who he is. And he's
or his onesie.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a cool look, though, because there's no get-her-done, cool Midwestern magician that comes out and does really cool stuff, but plays off not being that quick.
And you're then different.
It's great, and no one's done it yet. And I mentioned to Nathan Burton, because he's from Arkansas originally, so that's his world over there. And he did an old show at the Sahara with David Sachs, a Western show, and he came out with that on, and I went, that's your look, man.
Sense.
You look great. And I know me and Nathan don't get along necessarily right now, but I mean, this is a good thing. He's a great performer, good promoter. I have a lot of respect in that sense for him. But that look was him.
Yeah.
You'll never be Pierce Brosnan. People don't look. Certain people don't have a look.
Yeah.
You can wear the coolest Calvin Klein outfit you want. You're not going to be.
If it's not you, it's not you.
You're David Beckham. You know what I mean? But he with the hat sideways and I was like, man, there. And some people have a comfort, but some people don't want to.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
He can't have possibly been comfortable in that gold satin shirt, so you should try the John Deere look.
My friend who.
But no, Mark's really coming around, which is great. I love him to death.
My friend who sold us our house owned a bicycle shop here in town for many, many years, and one of his old axioms was, there's an ass for every saddle.
Isn't that the truth? You're right. You're right.
Do we need to take another break?
You're right.
How many have we done?
One.
Oh, yeah, let's do a quick break. Yeah, let's do that. Listen to some words from our sponsors. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs, and we'll be right back with Murray SawChuck and Jim DeRigo.
Amazing Pet Expos is coming to a city near you. Admission is always free, and your pet is welcome. Shopping, adoptions, free nail trims, discounted shots and microchipping, agility, a pet costume contest, and much more. Plus, meet the guys from Animal Planet's hit TV series Tank and Pit Boss. Online at AmazingPetExpos.com.
Bring your pets to the Pet Expo.
Hi, I'm Dana Humphrey, also known as the Pet Lady. I travel from coast to coast to pet trade shows and consumer events to scout out what the hottest, hippest, and most unique pet products are on the planet, bringing you tips and tricks from top veterinarians, groomers, trainers on how to safely travel and live happily with your pets. The Pet Lady will be in a city near you, showing off the latest and greatest tech pet gadgets, cozy comforts, and fab gift ideas for man's and woman's best friend. You can learn more at thepetlady.net or connect socially and tweet with me at PetLadyWorld.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio continues. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. Now, here again, your host, Sam.
And we're back. Oh, we have a red light. I didn't even know we had a red light. Hi, everybody. Listen, you're listening to us on Vegas Rock Dog Radio, and we're live on Periscope. Find us on Vegas Rock Dog. Technically, Murray has not broken down.
No.
To do Periscope,
I'm not.
But I've got him on my Periscope.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
So Johnny Katz, I guess you still
Who's for Johnny?
I guess you still don't win the bet.
I know. Everyone's waiting for
photo
me to
very
get
well
on
on
this.
Periscope.
Yes. Well, I'm excited. Well, I tried 3 times ago. And I did make an attempt to do the app thing and put it on my phone. Could not get it on there. So I thought, well, I'll take another break, and then maybe today I'll be inspired when I go home after this to try it for the 4th time.
Yeah, well, watch it back first and let's see what you think.
I know, right?
The good news is it disappears after 24 hours.
Does it really?
If you don't save it to your camera roll.
Oh, really?
And I think some people on a Friday and a Saturday night probably.
That's like some of the shows in Vegas. Let's talk about that, Duck Dynasty. No, okay. Oh, okay.
How many weeks was that? It was
6 weeks, wasn't there? Or
oh,
something?
that's a lot of money and a little bit of time.
Yeah. Well, you're going to talk about another show disappearing, not in Vegas. Knock Knock, Ryan Seacrest's new show, lasted 2 weeks, boom, canceled. Can you believe that?
I didn't even hear about
exactly.
it. Oh, that's
but
terrible.
Ryan Seacrest and the whole Fox, and there's their big one, and it lasted 2 weeks. I just heard a week and a half ago it got canceled.
That's
2 weeks,
crazy.
14 days out of the gate. Somebody lost a job.
Andy has a wall of death in the office, where when a show dies, he moves their flyer onto that
so
pin board.
funny.
It's filling up.
Great. Yeah, I know. Isn't it true? And
up.
there's so many, and there's many more people coming into town. It's gonna,
Now, recently, I saw a picture of you and Chloe. You did a promo shot for, and I don't know if you can talk about it, but it was. I'm trying to find where my notes. You did a shoot for.
Yes. I did a shoot for. You mean we're talking about the
LA,
the LA, here I got it on my phone.
LS animals.
Yeah. No, we're gonna bring this up.
I did have my notes.
No, I have it on my phone. It's Christopher Amoruso is the photographer. Very dear friend of mine. He shoots. He came into town. He shot a Stars and Cars thing for me.
I see.
And Chloe, and then he shot this, which is basically I have it right here on my phone. It's called Last Chance for Animals.
That's right.
lcanimal.org. And it's
Krista Rose founded it from
right
there you go.
Yes.
He founded it from he used to be on Hard Copy.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I wasn't sure the history of it, but I love the idea. Chris says, would you do a PSA announcement for... I said, of course. And so when we shot the Stars and Cars thing with one of my old cars, he said, let's shoot something with your dogs since you rescued them all. And I said, well, let's do it. So me and Chloe did the shoot for them, and they just sent that out. And I guess it's gotten massive likes and shares just because it had nice play on words.
Well, and also...
It does look like I have a chihuahua on my head. I don't know what my hair was looking like that day, but everyone can find... It looks like I put a Pomeranian, boom, on my head, and I just strapped that sucker on. I mean, honest to God.
Your bonnet.
I know, right? My bonnet, exactly. So,
I had a quick look at the website. Now, Chris, as I say, used to be on Hard Copy, but he used to cover a lot of animal stories.
Okay.
And he kind of veered away from TV, but using his connections in TV to shed a light on all kinds of animal abuse and don't wear fur and circus animals and. They're covering a lot. So you've obviously teamed up with a really, really good organization who has been around a long time.
Yes. That I knew. And when Christopher Russo said, would you shoot? And I said, well, yeah, of course. Because I know his work and the other stars that have campaigned for it. So I'm a huge fan of that.
Yeah, well, we'll put that picture up because it's just really, it's cute.
It's funny.
It's fresh. You got that suit on that I love. I love that suit.
Very gay and happy, that photo.
But where did you get it from?
I got that from Moods of Norway, and it's very funny because
Moods of Norway.
Yeah, it's a Moods. You Google Moods of Norway, and they have these very cool suits that are like purple jacket inside lime green lining. They got some Sweden and very, very cool Finland. That's not Sweden. It's Finland.
Close.
And Moods of Norway, yeah. And anyways, it's very, very cool clothing. Very hipster, very trendy.
Yes.
And I originally got it for when I did the roast a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And I wore it because I wanted something different. And it's so funny, a month or two later, somebody mentioned, oh, you're going to do the Matt King thing with plaid. It never even occurred to me.
No.
I just wore, because my look is from the neck up. It's the hair and glasses. You know what I mean? It's like I wear biker jackets for some things. I'm not trying to be Chris Angel, you know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like shit, everybody, anything I wear, people are going to be, put a dress on now. I'm Petty Piblis, But so anyways, I said, no, it has nothing to do with that because that's not my brand. My brand is from the neck up,
Yeah.
But the suit just looked really cool, and I just
Well,
thought,
I think it helps that you're in shape.
Well, yeah,
And you can pull off that suit.
Yeah.
You
At
really
my
can pull off
age,
that suit.
I'm not 20 anymore.
Do you work out much?
Yeah, 3 times a week I do. But I hate the gym. I like the results.
But you don't like the
I can't
going.
stand going. But, but I do like going because literally when I go, I put my phone in the locker for an hour, put the headphones in, and I do 45 minutes. I do like 7-8 machines, 3 sets each, and then I go for a 15-minute cool-down swim, and then I go home, and that's it. I mean, but it's nice for an hour. Just it's my yoga, it's my hiking or whatever people do.
And I don't think people realize this, but magicians are very active on stage. You run around a lot. You do a lot of these dove hand things and all that. Those
a lot of
moves.
stuff.
How'd you learn that choreography? Who teaches you that?
Armography.
Armography.
Exactly.
And you have hairography going on
Hairography,
right
I do.
now.
I got a lot of hairography. Yeah, I know. But no, it's one of those things where I think you learn what I learned from years ago, which was a David Copperfield thing, is if people realize David Copperfield on stage, even to this day, every move he makes on stage is constructed.
Yeah.
If he walks to the stage left for 3 steps, there's a reason he's taking the 3 steps. His
see.
hand goes in his right pocket. There's a reason. He's not doing it because his hand's tired. He wants to put his hands in his pocket. Every move he makes is calculated like a choreographed dance.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that way because he's just talking to you.
Yeah.
So I learned that. So when I'm on stage now, every move I make, there's a reason. I'm not just winging hands around. Because, when you're young, you're nervous, you're kind of doing stuff.
Right.
And then you watch yourself and you go, my God, it looks like my hands are on speed. So, anyways, you learn that there's no, don't make an extra move you don't need to because it's not necessary. Yeah, it takes away from what you're trying to pull off.
Who's your mentor? I'm sure you've got a few.
Yeah, when I grew up, my mentors were Johnny Carson and Phyllis Diller and Dean Martin and Danny Kaye and all these people growing up. Foster Brooks. There's many different people I liked growing up, along with Copperfield because he was the magician.
Yes.
But I liked all the stars from, like I said, Liberace to Phyllis Diller because they had a look and a brand.
Yes.
So when you watch them, it wasn't, when you watch Liberace, half the people were there because they liked the music. Half were there because they loved the production. They wanted to see the Rolls Royce and the furs and him being camp.
That's right.
They love that, and people don't realize it was about the show.
Yes.
And people always criticize like a Britney Spears, going, "Oh, she can't sing." Well, she is Liberace. She does it all. She's Madonna. Madonna doesn't have a big octave.
Jim said the same thing when
you're
we
going
went
for
to
the
see
show.
her.
Yeah.
He said the same thing. He goes, "I'm not a fan of Madonna, but that production, that show itself was amazing."
Same with Liberace. He wasn't the best piano player. He was a good piano player, but he had a great hook.
And it's experience.
Exactly. Same with
isn't
Victor
it?
Borgia. Same thing. The comedy. A piano player from the 70s, early 80s. He was very funny too. The guy that flew off the piano when he played, and he'd put a seatbelt on his chair. If anyone doesn't know who I'm talking about, Google Victor Borgia, and she was a phenomenal pianist, but very funny. He had his own hook.
So you do pull from different areas then?
Everywhere.
You have to, to...
Yes.
And you just like what you like.
Yeah, I love what, you look at people like the Carrot Tops and that, and they find their own niche too. When people come to a show, I want them to go, I want to see Murray, not I want to see a magician.
Yes, and I think that's really, really important because, like you say, you talk about branding a lot anyway. And I think if more people thought about branding, I think there's a tendency for people to rush and just get things going.
Correct.
But whether it's just opening, I don't know, a smoothie bar or whatever, if they have not thought about their branding, I look at certain things and I go, I don't know what that is.
Yes.
What is this product? I don't know what it does.
Yes.
Because they haven't branded it in a way that makes it easy for me to digest.
Sure.
But like you say, visually,
yes,
it's instant,
Of course.
Oh, Murray with the hair and the glasses,
right.
So, I think it's really, really important.
It's like Starbucks. It's beans and water. You didn't reinvent the wheel. It's been around since... it's been around since, Noah's Ark, right? So, but you got the cool logo. You walk in, you feel important. Yeah. You sit there, it feels...
They make you feel like you are special.
Yeah, you sit there with your computer making another deal or whatever the hell you're doing, or you meet somebody.
You need this beans and water.
Brilliant. Same with, the coffee bean or any of those. So, yeah. So, I'm all about the branding because when I go to eat, I'm not a food connoisseur. I enjoy all kinds of food. I go for the environment. So I'm spending $150 for a meal. Yeah, steak, and this and that. I know steak isn't steak, but regardless, I'm going for the ambience, the music, the musician in the corner, the tables, the lighting, because it's a nice evening out. That's really what I'm paying for. I'm renting the space.
I love coffee shops. I like to, because I work for myself, so I don't always want to be at home, but I enjoy a coffee shop, but I go for the same reasons.
Yeah, the environment and the hang.
Yes. And just have good Wi-Fi.
That too. Exactly.
Otherwise, not a lot of work's getting done.
No, you're right.
Tell everybody your website, because you haven't mentioned that yet.
Yeah, it's murraymagic.com, MurrayMagic.com. And then, of course, my Twitter and Instagram is my first name and my last name, which is Murray SawChuck. So it's MurraySaw.
Which is his real name.
Yeah, it really is my real name.
Because I remember saying that the first time you came on my show.
I know,
I was like, the name. And he's like, it's really my name.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Because let's be honest, if I had a choice of all names in the world, I'm like, let's think of a real star-sounding name. We got Zach and we have Pierce. No, Murray. That's it. Murray's the one. Come on, people.
But I love it.
Yeah, there's nobody else named Murray. Not that many, at least here. In Scotland, there's a lot of people, but not as many here.
Well, I encourage everyone that's listening, if you're in Vegas, and hey, if you're not in Vegas, come up, especially from California, come up to Vegas for the weekend. Come to Murray's show, Planet Hollywood. What's the name of the theater?
It's Sin City Theater. There's 3 theaters at Planet Hollywood, Brittany's Theater, Jeff Dunham's, and then I'm the 300-seat theater in the corner, Sin City Theater, second level. Yeah.
August 16th, which is a Sunday, 3 p.m. red carpet. They will have adoptable dogs there, which is brilliant.
Yep.
Because like you say, the connection, you make the connection when they're there. The show starts at 4:00. You can donate product for his raffle, and you can donate money. And I know it's going to be a good time. It always is. We have a great time. I'm encouraging tons of people to go. Well, I'm not going to guilt them into going.
Good, nice.
Because that's kind of how I do it.
Why not?
And we'll take tissues.
It's on a Sunday, so there's no excuse for regular people who are working that can't make it.
Yeah, exactly. And we will push this as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, thanks.
So I want to close the show with, as we always do every single week, you can help a pet in need, either rescue, adopt, donate, volunteer, share their information, or host a fundraising show like Murray. Rescue your next family member. Replace the word shop with adopt, and be kind to all animals. I want to thank you for coming in, Murray. I know it's early, but I have good swag for you.
I'm excited.
So, and you got your chocolate biscuits.
And we periscope. This is
and
huge.
we periscope.
This is monumental.
It is. And take a moment to hop over to Murray's website, or find him on Facebook, Twitter, hopefully
but
Periscope.
Not Periscope.
But not Periscope at this point, I want to say thank you to Mike for running the show. Fabulous. Thank you, Jim, for being our Periscoper, or whatever we call that. And today you've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, where it's all about pets, people, and pop culture. I'm your host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs. And always kiss your pets good morning and good night. Have a great weekend. We will see you at Murray's show. Thanks, everybody, for listening in. We'll see you next week.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.